What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build It video. Today we're doing a design review video where I go through and I give my opinion on designs that we've collected from Reddit posts, Facebook posts, just designs that you guys have submitted into the album. Just know that if I am saying something negative about a design and it is your design, it is not personal. It is meant to be constructive criticism only. And I'm just giving out ideas, okay? Now, if you would like to add your design to the album, all you have to do is click on the link down below and then click Add Photos. It'll add your pictures to the album, and it will say your name, your Google name, and it'll show who added it. You do not have to only add your designs. You can add any designs that you think are decent or that you find anywhere on the internet, okay? If for some reason you want to add a watermark to your design, you can absolutely do that. But just overall, it's just meant for educational reasons, you know, to give people ideas and help them formulate some kind of a plan when they design their city. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Okay, so this was the one that we left off at. It's a lot of green. Overall, it's not bad. It's just like this patch right here in the middle. I would change that. So it looks kind of weird how boxy it is. And I would probably add in a little bit of other colors, but other than that, it looks decent. Okay, this one here, it's good, but it's also got a lot of flaws. Like they've got the water coming up to each one of the buildings, which sometimes that can look decent, but most of the time it doesn't. But they've got way too many bridges going right in the middle. It just looks kind of weird to me. They've got like the Omega bridges, they've got the red bridges, they've got the big bridges and the little cobble bridges. They've got bridges everywhere. It just looks kind of weird. The yellow ones, it's, yeah. Okay, this one here, it looks decent. It looks pretty good. Although they have the center building is facing the wrong direction, which makes it look tacky. And they've got the road kind of curved right here in the middle, which makes it look kind of weird. What I don't know. The way the middle is just doesn't look good to me. Okay. This one is really good. The colors is good. The layout's good. The bridges are kind of weird in the middle, but overall they're decent. The choice of roads is decent. It almost looks... Oh, that's just a... Okay, never mind that. That's just part of the picture. The only thing I would change is people have been using this walkway up here over the two pieces of road. If you're gonna do that, try to use 4 of those because it'll curve the edges and it won't look so straightly cut off. This one looks decent if they would have not put so much water up against the roadways. If they would have done something better around the edges of the design itself. This one is really cut, like cookie cutter cut. Kind of looks weird, but overall it's not a bad design. This one is cool. It's got the X, and then it's got the centerpiece. Although the vineyards down here at the bottom look kind of weird. They also look weird up at the top, and there's kind of roads going all over the place. I think if they were to put the X and then do like a design in the middle of each part of the X, it would have looked better, and then maybe done a up top view. This one is odd. It's good. It is good. But the middle, right, what's the first thing that you see when you look at a design? That's what you should focus on, right? Right when I swipe the screen, what is the first thing that you notice about any design? And it's usually going to be, obviously, what is the brightest thing on the picture? It's the first thing your eyes are going to draw to. Now, when you look at the photo from like here up, it looks really good. There's nothing immediately drawing your eyes. But when you go like this, the very first thing that you see is the Neo Bridge, the Omega Bridge. And it doesn't match with anything on this screen. There's no Omega stuff. There's nothing else that's blue. It literally just stands out like a sore thumb. And the bridges don't go anywhere. Besides, you know, you've got the one with the 4 pieces, and then you just got these cut-off pieces, and it just doesn't look good. It looks terrible. You have the boat that's kind of stuck in front of it, which you can barely even see the boat. And overall, it just doesn't look good. If they were to take out that and turn the boat the other direction, it would look a lot better. So much yellow to where it's terrible because they've got, you know, green, they've got pink, they've got whatever. This one, I don't really have anything bad to say about it, to be honest. Like, it does look good. Yeah, that one looks good. This one is interesting. The yellow bridges is a bit much right up front. The red bridges is clearly a way to make a design. It's not meant to be functional. Interesting. I'll just put it at that. It's definitely interesting. The walkways up front look kind of weird. Okay. This one, I don't like this one really because it doesn't match up. Like, you know, this is the desert thing, and they've got it all around this volcano park. It just doesn't look good. This one is decent, although it seems like there's too much stuff and not enough water, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it looks like the water should have come down a little further. The soccer field looked like a bit much. This one isn't bad. You can just tell that it was kind of half-assed, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't put a whole lot of effort into it, or so it seems. Maybe they did, I don't know. This one is good. It's got the, looks like a running man or whatever. Overall, I wouldn't change it. It's not something I would do, but it's not something that is bad at all. It looks decent. This one is, it's good. It's just the way that they did some of the buildings, the way that they have them faced is kind of odd, but it's okay. This one would have been really good if they hadn't used so many of the sports stuff right dead center. That looks weird to me. This one, there's too many bridges in one small area, and it looks weird with all the orange right in the middle. This one looks really cool. I don't know what specifically, if it even is supposed to be a specific design, but the way that they did the water and the trees and everything, it looks really good. I don't think I'd change anything really about that one. This one looks good as well. This one also looks good, although the dark trees kind of seem like a bit much for this design. This one is really good. See? I mean, everything just kind of flows. The one thing I like about this one is they've got the, like, circle around it, but they also made it to where the trees kind of meet up, like, at an X point, you know? So it's not just a complete circle, and it just looks decent. The walkways are kind of weird, you know? But they don't look bad. They actually flow pretty decently with the Auburn-style trees. This one, too many bridges. Way too many, and they're all different, and there's walkways everywhere. It just looks weird. This one would have been a lot better if they would have followed a better color scheme for the buildings. Like, you can see that they've got the more blue tinted silver looking style on each side, but then up here in the middle they've got the brown color sequence, and it just looks weird. This one looks good. It's bright. Although right here with the trees, I would have had it meet up with the water probably. A lot of orange. And the Omega does not fit in with that. If they would have taken the 2 Omega things out, it would look a lot better. This one, interesting layout. I probably would not have done as many dark trees in the middle. Probably would have done something a little bit lighter. Or even see the ones that they used on the outer edge. Maybe something like that. Instead of the bright, green around the edges and then the dark green in the middle. This one is pretty decent. In general, I mean, it's just kind of a basic design. I probably would have done more filler stuff. They've just got too much water going up to the edges of the buildings. That one you can't really tell because it's nighttime. This one it's pretty good. I mean, it's got a lot of pink. It's got a lot of, it looks like they used the walkway stuff to make it look like people were, walking down in front of these buildings or whatever. This one, the tall buildings just don't look very good, but in general, it's not bad. This one is kind of tacky, I guess. Not very good. Not terrible. Certainly not the worst one I've ever seen, but it's not that great either. Okay, this one, they put a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in one small area. The golf course doesn't look good there. The sports thing in the back doesn't look good. I don't know if that's just because I don't like sports. I'm trying not to be biased when it comes to that. I try to keep an open mind when I look at these designs and say, okay, even though I don't particularly like this building, does it at least look good in this layout? Or could I see how somebody else would find it to be decent looking? I try to not be biased in that way, but some things to me just don't look good. Like, this doesn't come off to me as a sports layout. You know what I mean? So it just seems a little weird to have that one sports building in the top left and then the golf course on the bottom. This one looks really good, I think. Besides the fact that we have these big, long stretches of road that kind of go around everything. I think that you could make this design look a lot better if you were to only put the roads that you need for the buildings that you're placing and then put trees around those dashes of road. This one is okay. Not the best, but it's okay. I would change quite a few things about this one. They've got a really good idea. They've got some good buildings, like that rainbow one in the middle. But I would definitely change the way the bridges are and the way that they have the water going around everything. Looks weird. That one looks okay, although, again, with the roads, they just don't look good like that. They've got Easter, they've got, Valentine's Day stuff, they've got Christmassy type stuff. It just doesn't mix, So this one is good, but I think the yellow bridges are a bit much, and I think that the buildings along the edges should be better picked to follow more of a specific style. This one is pretty decent. It seems to flow decently. It's got the right color scheme. A lot of roads. If they were going to use this many roads, and again, I know that you guys probably don't have the resources to do this, but I'm just speaking in terms of a design aspect, not a cost. I would have, if I was going to use this much roadway, I would have done the gravel roads because it would have looked really good with this layout. Everything would have, all the roads would have been brighter and it would have flowed better. Hang on. Okay. No! Where'd I go? Where did I get lost at here? There we are. Okay. This one here is an okay idea. They've got certain things, certain road pieces are upgraded, some of them are not. I would have picked a better road layout. Like right here, see how they've got the Princess Tower looking thing over here, and then they've got the swamp, and they've got the road right dead center, like right through the middle. I would fix that and just put a dash. Erase all, look at this first example. Look at the bottom corner, because I can't really point to where I'm trying to show you guys. Look towards this bottom corner here and follow that road. It goes up, then it goes left, then it goes up, and then we've got one that goes right. All that road for those 3 whopping buildings. 3 dashes and some trees, and you would have eliminated all that road. And it would have looked so much better. Okay. This one, it looks terrible, in my opinion. These specific buildings look so much better when you can actually see them. And on this particular map, most of these buildings lose their color, they lose their lighting, and they lose everything that makes them look good. So it just looks like this bland cluster of snow and dull lights. To me, that's what it looks like. I would pick some different buildings that have more dark features to them so that when the snow covers it, you can still see it. Or ones that that have brighter lights, like along the back, they've got some that are really bright. This one here is okay. A lot of roads for such, small pieces that could have been made. We've got the trees right up against the roadways that don't need to be there. This one is pretty green. It's just the sports city, so they've got a lot of the sport style stuff out there. It's okay. It's not bad. This one is interesting. It's decent. I like when people use the hot air balloons and they take their picture with the hot air balloons, in the photo. I usually try to hide the hot air balloons, the actual building itself, because it's hideous. I think SimCity should put out better hot air balloons, definitely. But make the building itself look decent. This one is really bright. You can tell that that's what they were going for. It's not bad. It's a very small design. This one is pretty good for considering it's the Frosty map. Remember when I said you should go with something really bright if you're going to be on that map? Okay, this one here has a really tiny heart, which is actually not bad looking. I like how they use the Auburn style trees for it. Although it doesn't really match up with the pink and yellow down at the bottom, overall the design looks good. This one is okay. It's good. It's just some of the stuff I wouldn't use. I wouldn't use like this swimming pool, this educational building I would not have used. I think you could put stuff there that would be so much better. This one is kind of a cluster of stuff. I think the nighttime would be the best time to view it. During the day, it would just look kind of weird. Wow, that is a cluster, isn't it? There's too much. Way too much going on there. Okay. Yeah, too much going on there. This looks bad. They've just got this, like, curved bridge, road, walkway mess. This one looks good. Although, like, see here how they've got the road that wraps all the way through and around and up and in here. I would change that, but overall the walls look decent and the layout looks okay. This is really, really bright for the snow map. So, it's not terrible, but a little bright. It looks good, although this bottom corner, well, all the corners actually have like this indentation that makes it look kind of weird. Okay, this one looks a lot better. It's got the dark trees with the yellow trees around it. Yeah, that one looks good. Doesn't look bad. This one is tacky, poorly done. This one's interesting. It's just got like one pink road down the middle. The right side of the design looks terrible, but the left side doesn't look too bad. This one looks pretty decent, I guess. There's a lot I would change about it, but overall it's not terrible. This one, the middle looks really good, although I would have chosen completely different style residentials for this map. Something maybe like the Latin homes or something. The layout for the water and the trees on this one looks really good. And although I would change that, it just has this this beach entrance here, the wall. I would change that. That does not look good. That one looks decent-ish. I usually don't like it when they do everything vertically. Sometimes it looks good, but this time it just looks kind of weird with they've got like one line of dark trees, one line of light trees, one line of bridges, and then so on. It looks weird. This one I'm not a big fan of. That one looks decent. It's got the heart in the middle, some stuff around the edges. The one pink tree here with the cut in the road does not look good. Probably would have used the, see how they've got that egg park in the back? That looks tacky. They could have done this heart park here and put it up top, taken that egg park completely out because that's ridiculous, and then used the pink tree roads. That one looks okay, although, again, with the roads, we don't need that many roads wrapping all around Chinatown. This one looks good. It's got a lot going on. I probably would have taken the photo from a different angle, though. That one looks okay, I guess. Hard to tell at night. This one is not that great. I mean, it's just got too much stuff right in the middle and just looks kind of weird. This one's okay. I can't really tell what buildings those are. And I don't know, it's a little weird. It's not terrible though. That one's okay. I would have probably not done just yellow trees right around the edges because that looks weird. This one here, the walls, the shape of the walls look good right in the middle, but the ones on the outer edge look weird because they just come to an end right at the road. This one's terrible. Yep, absolutely terrible. They literally just... What were they even thinking? I mean, they literally just, like, barfed out their menu. They're like, okay, let's just fill this here. No. No. That one looks good. It looks like it flows pretty naturally. This one's good. See how he's got this middle piece here with his name? And then you can see the water through the break in this beach thing. The one thing I would change is the road on the right-hand side. I would put the gravel road there for that building. And then put some trees a little bit closer to the edge if I could get away with it without making it look too bad. But overall, that one looks good. This one looks good, except for the top. The top looks kind of weird. I like this one. I mean, it's got... I don't know, the one... That one building right there, dead center at the bottom. It's that thing that, that ride that picks people up, brings it down. That doesn't really match or fit. I get they were trying to make it match up with the blue pillars on the beach wall. It just doesn't look that great. I think it stands out in a bad way. That's a lot of stuff, but not terrible. This one is too much of the same thing in one area all over the place. Too much yellow in one area up top, too much green going down the center. That just looks kind of like a city that somebody just tossed some water and trees next to. This one looks decent, although kind of weird with the way they did the water in the back. Interesting. Interesting idea, anyway. It's cool. It's something I haven't seen before. It's just interesting. This one is really good. I really like this one. They've got all the light pink trees at the bottom. Again, I would not have used the football field. I think they could have used something way, way better. But the big diamond shape looks decent. I also would not have used the soccer fields. I definitely would have done something completely different than the sports theme. But for a sports theme, it looks pretty good. This is an interesting layout. It's got some of the first hot air balloons that they added way back when the game was, you know, like a year or two old. Pictures of the vineyards, the new roads, the walls, the gravel roads. That looks kind of weird. Interesting. Trying to see what else we got in here real quick. Jesus. A lot of the same. Oh, okay. This was one that I did. Hang on, let me try to get an outer picture of it. There we go. So I did a yellow heart and a pink heart, and then I did the... Can't remember the name of this building here. Going in here, I don't really like the way I did the centerpiece right there. It looks weird to me. I have a lot of adjustments to make on this design. This took me about an hour to put together, so it's definitely not done, and it was being used as basically to put out all the buildings that I like that are not on my capital, that I can't fit on my capital. So if I was using any building that I had, I would definitely have done completely different buildings, but I'm only using buildings that I don't want to take for my capital. And it cost me right around, if I remember right, it was 1 million simoleons to do that big heart, the big pink heart out of the pink roads. There's a aerial view of that. Okay. That's what a bunch of Latin homes look like, in case you weren't wondered. My God. That one actually looks kind of cool, the way they did that. This one also looks really cool. If they would have changed the way, like, see how that building's backwards? But the overall water design looks good. These are the epics. So somebody had went through and taken photos of the epic projects and what they look like at nighttime versus daytime. If you're interested, that's what those are. These are the regional epics, what they look like nighttime versus daytime. You only get regional epics for the regional map that you're currently on. You cannot get a Cactus regional epic on a sunny map or vice versa. They're completely random. Doesn't matter what category that you do an epic on. It's just going to randomly do it. So you could be in the gambling category, and if it's going to give it to you, it's going to give it to you. Okay. This one is SimCity back before he tore it up again, but definitely decent. He had the He only had the regular trees at the time. I don't think he had any of the regional stuff unlocked yet, so he only had so much to work with. Then they put out these trees, and he kind of went crazy with the big puffy auburn ones, but looks good. This is somebody who used to be in my group, Mango. His city looks really good as well. He put forth a lot of work to that one. This is TK's city. She left the group a while ago, got uninterested in the game, but her city was one of my favorites. She put a lot of work into it. A lot of trees, a lot of water. She has this, you can't really tell, but see this here? It's got a turtle in the background, and she used the building to make it look like his back. So that was kind of cool. This I found somewhere on the internet. I can't remember where, but if you're interested in the pixel art, we do have a lot of pixel art design album, but you can also go to like Google and type in Mario pixel art or hearts or flowers or turtles or whatever, and then pick out whatever trees, ponds that you want to use and do your best to make it look as good as you can. The problem is we don't have a whole lot of colors to choose from in this game, so can make it quite difficult sometimes. But with certain things, it can look pretty good. I actually started making a pot leaf, even though I hate weed. And it does take a lot of trees, but if you use the dark trees and the light trees, you can make a pretty decent size pot leaf on your map. You can do a mushroom. I think the moon would be really cool if you used the dark green trees as the black and used obviously the yellow as the yellow. I did the Mario star and it turns out awesome. It used to be on my capital map. I know there's photos of it in here somewhere. But here's some of the pixel art. So here, obviously, you would just match it up. Now, the best way that I figured out how to do this, you guys, because it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, when you use the trees on the outside, when you're first doing the outside of the star, it can be really hard to tell where exactly you're placing the trees because sometimes they bunch out. So what I did was I outlined it in ponds. And then I just picked up the pond, and as I went, I placed down the tree. Pick up a pond, place the tree. And it made it so much easier. Then once you get to the middle, where you're doing the yellow, it makes it a lot easier. You just, do your top few lines of yellow, and then you get your eyeballs done, and then you just fill it in with yellow, and it makes it super easy. So I did the math for you guys. It's 5 across the top, and then you can count from there. 4, 4, 4. This is the heart. All you have to do is make sure that each side of the heart is equal, So if the bigger you want to make the heart, just make sure it's equal on each side. This one was one that I found on Global. I'm not a big fan of cats, but a lot of people do like the road art. This is the Mario star that I made, and I did this one in green just to try it out. It's not bad. It's okay. That's what it looks like. And yes, I did purposefully line up that building to match the bottom part of the star. A lot of people ask me that. There's a close-up picture of the turtle that TK did. There's another picture of the turtle that she did. This one, she just used a different centerpiece for his back. This I made by scratch. I don't have a pixel layout for it, but I did a peace sign as the middle part of the key, and then I did the key outline. And that's kind of where I started off with it. And yes, I did the top part of the key up there. There's the centerpiece. There's just the turtle without a building in the middle. I did a Mickey Mouse head. Again, this one was done by scratch, so I don't have the numbers for that, but it's not really that hard, just try to match it up. This was the Mario star. If you like the way it looks and you want to make it, that's what it looks like. It looks really cool. I'm not going to lie, it does. You can make a pretty badass Mario map, I think. With the Mario guy that you saw, the turtle, and the star, I think you could do something pretty cool. You could probably even do maybe like a bridge that goes away from it and put out a bunch of rainbow style buildings or something. I don't know. I think that if people tried a lot harder with their designs, and it seems like this last year everybody has been, that they could make some pretty cool stuff if they started with this pixel art. These were done by scratch. This is my Cactus Map a couple years ago. Since then, I've taken this design apart. But it's got the small heart on the bottom, the peace sign up at the top, and the heart in the middle. This one I did by scratch. This was, I think it was a design submission or something, if I remember right. But this one I did, this was before I had filled everything in. This is on my capital map. So I used to have a big heart, well, it's not big, a little heart lake right here. I've since taken that out. I also used to have the Mario star up here on the top left of my map. This is what my city looks like after I added in the pink roads. So you guys remember at the beginning of video 1, I was showing you guys my city from 4 years ago. It was pretty plain and boring. Okay, that one actually looks pretty good. I was gonna say, that looks really badass. That's my city, what the hell? Just a different angle. I didn't even really recognize it at first. That is my city, right? It's gotta be. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. So these are just different angles of my city. I know, it's hard to... I'm so used to seeing my city in one direction, it threw me off a little bit. Okay, so this is basically what my city looks like now. This is like the latest of what it looks like. I've added in a lot of the castles and the different style bridges and trees and roads and all that. I think I've changed this up in the top recently. I can't remember. I usually try to put the best of the best stuff on my capital map, the best that I can anyway. But over the years, I've acquired so much stuff that I just don't have room for it. Okay, so this is my limestone map right here. Now, I can't show you on this screen, but I've showed you on other videos that I've done. And I did the... hold on, where's my bubble? There it is, okay. I did the roads as roundabouts so that I could put 4 buildings in one area without using a whole lot of road. And that's the left side of it. This is my latest Green Valley design. This is the map that you saw that had the key. Okay. The only thing I don't like about this design that I did is, see how the water kind of shifts off and it goes to the right and it goes up? It just leads nowhere, and to me it looks kind of tacky. So I want... Okay. It's just more pictures of that same map. My capital again. Oh, this is before it looked like that. Back when it was just the green. And see how many roads I had? And the green. See how different it looks now? Okay. That's somebody else's map. A lot of the road art. This one, I like how many trees there are, but to me it looks a little weird with how much... Like, just the way they went about it. Like, they did, like, 4-pack, then a 4-pack, and just, it looks weird. But overall, it's not terrible. That looks bad. They've got way too many. Those roads, the roads they're using, they're freaking hideous. Like, dude, they are so ugly. I don't know what that's supposed to be in the middle. It kind of looks like an eyeball, I guess. I don't know. It's ugly. Somebody told me what it was supposed to be, and I can't remember exactly. Some kind of a flag or something. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a flag. Okay. This... Somebody did do an eyeball that looked very similar. I think it was TK. Looked very similar to that. Okay. That isn't bad. Too much green. Too many roads, but not bad. Okay. It's odd. See how they've got like the city look and then they've got like this mid-rustic look? Nah, no. Doesn't look good to me. This looks pretty cool. The star that they made out of this looks pretty cool. Let's see what they did in the middle. The walkways going down the middle looks kind of weird, but I think that you could make this look like a pretty badass design if done properly. And maybe at the 5 points, use a pillar instead of a wall. I just don't know how it would work with the way that the walls conform together, but could look better. That is ugly. They've got 4 of those same buildings right there, and it's hideous. This, I thought, was supposed to be like a design of something, but it's not. I do like the whole island look. A lot of people don't really do islands anymore. And I think it looks really good if you can do like a large body of water and then do an island that isn't so perfectly round. Something kind of like this where it looks more naturally formed. It would be really cool if somebody built the Hawaiian Islands, you know, got like a pixel form of it or just a general picture of it and then tried to match it up and do the Hawaiian Islands on probably the sunny map would be the best one to do it on. You know, it's big enough and bright enough. I think you could do it pretty easily. But I think it would be a cool idea. Okay, this looks good, although the wall looks kind of weird. This one I like, but the middle walkways look kind of weird. That one looks okay. The middle trees look kind of weird with the way that the dirt is kind of showing. Just looks kind of tacky. That one looks, eh. That one, that's a lot of green, but I get what they were going for. You know, they were just going for this really swampy, they wanted it to look like really green. So I do think that looks really cool, actually. If they had some of the Halloween buildings, a lot more of the swampy style stuff with like the broken pillar and the houses, and I think they can make this design look really decent, especially if they took out some of these roads. Like here they've got some trees up against roads and then trees right there. They don't need all that. So I think if you were to take the same color sequence and add in some cool Halloween buildings, it could be a really cool design. A heart. That one looks good. That looks decent. That one looks good. That looks interesting. Would have been better with different roads. That one looks good. Good. Saw that already. That looks kind of weird. That one looks really good. In general, you know, I think this person's hacked because I don't think this is the Cactus Map. And they have Cactus epics, so definitely a hacked person. That one looks good. I don't like the way the water is on that one. That's an interesting layout. That one I actually like. The houses look kind of weird, but everything else looks decent. This one looks cool with the way that they did the heart. I think you could do something pretty cool with that if you took out all the buildings that they have placed out and used different buildings. I like this one here, if they'd used a different road up front and maybe made it a larger square. That one looks okay. It's definitely not something I would make, but it's interesting. The yellow right down the center looks really tacky, though. That looks off. Doesn't match up with anything. The middle looks good, but the egg right in the center and all the stuff behind it looks weird. Again, with the highlighted trees, that does not look good. That looks okay. This one looks really good. You know, it's evenly just kind of dispersed everywhere. It's got a lot of the same styles, you know, the red-topped houses and the trees. That one looks okay. I actually like this one a lot. You know, it's got the walls are shaped pretty decently. They got the hot air balloons. They've got some decent buildings out there. The walkways just kind of look weird, but other than that, looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Again, with the walkways, though. That one looks decent. This one I like. Although the bridges look kind of weird going all the way down like that. But I get what they were going for here. They've got too many of the same farm along the back wall here. That looks good. I don't like the chicken rooster looking bridge thing. But everything else looks good. That looks decent. I like this one. This heart actually looks pretty good. It's usually the other way around where you do the trees and then the water in the middle of the heart. This one they kind of did the opposite. They did the water and then trees as the middle, so that looks kind of cool. They've also got hearts, you know, here at the bottom and then on each side. So you can tell that they were actually trying to make things match up. That's my design on my Sunny map. That's my second island on my Sunny map. This design took me a couple of hours, but again, I don't really like that one. It's okay, but definitely not something that I would be showing off as like great. This is just an idea that I had. I haven't messed with this map since. I definitely am not showing this design off, but it's not bad. It's just not that great. This is the left side of that same design. Again, just trying things out, seeing what I can make it look like. Okay, that's Mango City. He's got some pretty decent designs here. This is my Frosty map. I was just kind of messing with the walls. I don't like this design. I don't like the trees being so stuffed in the middle there. That's the top portion. That part looks okay. But I don't like what I did there, really. This is what I did on the Sunny map before I took it apart. Okay, this is my Cactus map. One of my many designs I did on the Cactus map. I've since picked this one up. But I did actually really like this design. It had the diamond in the middle and then had the outer edges, and then I just kind of filled it in. It wasn't a bad design. It's just not something that I wanted to keep there forever. This is my Limestone map. I was trying to show you guys earlier with the roundabouts. See how I've got 4 buildings on these roundabouts on each one? A lot of these buildings, they require the road be on the left or the right side in order for the building to look straight. And that's how I was able to do that without putting out a bunch of roads, was to just do the roundabouts. So there's a daytime view of the Limestone map. This is the back portion of my Limestone map. I have not finished the back portion yet. This design will stay here the way it is. I'm not taking that apart. Too much to pick up. And this is my capital again. Skip past all this. That's the nighttime view of my capital. Okay. I like this idea. See how they've got the large, tall buildings in the middle, and then they just slowly get shorter and shorter, and everything's just kind of clustered. I think you could make this look really cool if you put water there. This is odd. Definitely interesting with all the buildings there like that. I like all the trees here. This one is very similar to my map, not quite, but looks decent. He's got all these weird symbol things he's drawn everywhere, which is kind of weird, but overall his map doesn't look too bad. Okay, this one here looks pretty good. It's just kind of different, I guess. This is TK's map. See how she's got like little islands? She's got this one shaped like that. They're all different shapes. They look pretty good. All right, I think we're gonna stop here because we're getting, 51 minutes. So if you guys want to continue looking through the rest of these, all you have to do is click the link down below and add your photos in if you want to. You can grab any photos that you see on Facebook, Reddit, whatever, and you can add them in here if you'd like. You can put your name on yours if you want to. You don't have to. This was what my city looked like when I had the gravel roads before they came out with the pink roads. I had to go through and bulldoze everything and buy pink roads. It was worth it though. Made it look a lot different, a lot nicer. See the difference between what it looks like now as opposed to then. Okay, so good luck to you guys this week in the contest. Let me know down in the comment section what your favorite design is, and add your photos in.